Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. So today we're going to be talking about something that isn't particularly strange. It's pretty straightforward. But before I continue, I'd like to oblige you to go listen to previous episodes and listen to the episode after this. You know, the entire month of February is one of those times where there is a focal point, there is a pivot on which to build from. There's something on which to pivot. Yeah, there's a central theme basically, and that theme is love, the theme of love. And so it affords not just me, the maybe multiple people who have similar view aside churches. It affords us the opportunity to be as detailed on a particular subject matter. And so on in this case, as is globally recognized, February is the month of love. So yeah, I'm taking the opportunity. The thing was, last year I only did one episode on love, and that was it. I did not do anything on love again. The original intention was to do a whole series throughout the month of February in 2024 on love, but I took an unannounced hiatus and came back in March and then disappeared again. I don't know what I was doing, but you get the gist. I oblige you. Go listen to all of the episodes if you want to get a foothold, you want to get a grasp, if you want to get an understanding from another person's point of view on the subject of love. And so yeah, let's get on with it. Like I said, this today's topic is a fairly simple one, not entirely strange. Yeah, it's fairly simple, and it has been at the epicenter of my discourse so far, and that is love in a loveless world. We live in such a time where pre-existing traditional orthodox ideologies are being challenged and are have been challenged and are being challenged. Yeah. And so it is a struggle for generations past and the present generation to keep up with ever changing norms. Seems like every single time you hop on a social media platform or turn on the television or read an article, be it online or physically, there is some sort of new ideology, there is a new thoughts and opinion being painted, all sorts of things are being peddled around. And I really think about it. I was thinking about this the other day. I said, more than any generation, I I I I don't know if I can say this with liberty, but to a degree I can. More than any generation, this current generation, Gen Zers, are going to have, this might be a controversial thing to say, but are going to have the hardest time raising kids. This isn't considering, ecology, should I say ecological? Yeah, ecological, economical, atmospheric, national conditions. Because some people were born in the midst of wars, some people were born in the midst of famine, some people were born in the midst of the bubonic plague, some people were born and went back to be with the Lord the very same day, either due to complications, during the delivery, or some external force. Yeah, I'm not taking all those things into stock just yet. I'm talking strictly on the basis of raising ideologically sound kids. It's going to be a real struggle. Now, if we're to factor in wars and everything, there is such a saturation of weaponry. There's such a saturation of nuclear weaponry in this day and age that would make World War II look like a joke. And I'm not saying it is, but the amount of weapons in the arsenals of countries of the world powerhouses is frightening. Every day there is a threat of a third world war. It's frightening. Now I'm not here to talk about the politics of I'm not here to talk about the political side. That is a whole topic on its own. I'm talking strictly on the ideological side. And one of such things is love. We live in such a world. We live in a world right now that peddles the idea of casual sex, of yeah, of hookups, random hookups, drunk hookups. We live in a society that is comfortable with shaming orthodoxical and traditional beliefs. You have people. I don't know what way to put this. I'm struggling to find the words. I'm struggling to find the words. It's heartbreaking to say the least. It's heartbreaking because you might say our parents are old school and the things, some of their experiences and some of the things they held on to are quite outdated. And I might agree with you on some fronts. Back in their day it was peddled, or it was a common notion that women are supposed to just stay in the kitchen. People didn't really think about women holding positions of authority, let alone a woman vying for presidency, as we see women do in present times. People didn't even think about it. I was like, what are you saying? That pigs are going to start riding bicycles or horses? You must be kidding me. But women are taking up places of power and influence. And although women are not, they might not be where they want to be, or there isn't a level. They have achieved a lot, but there is a certain level they want to hit. Although they are not there yet, it's quite a lot of progress from what used to be peddled before. But the thing that I have the most problem with in my generation, with this generation, is this: do what you want, run on vibes. Whatever your body tells you to do, you should do it. I mean, if everyone is a slave or subject to their desires, then human beings in essence have no autonomy. There is a programming. I mean, don't get me wrong. Now, let me put some distinctions. Let me make it clear. Sexual attraction, or being horny, and all those things that happen internally, they are not abnormal. It's pretty normal. Yeah. But what is abnormal is acting upon it when you're not married. It's not normal. I was watching a YouTube video earlier today where a conservative was debating five LGBTQ plus activists, 25 LGBTQ plus activists, and I feel for them. Not the conservatives, the activists. I feel for them. I really do. Because tell me why, since they use the word straight, tell me why straight men, straight cis or white men, get to dictate what policies govern your entire life. Like, do you understand how outrageous that is? It is outrageous that it wasn't even a white man, it was a black man, came out in 2015, and I'm talking about the US, came out in 2015 and said same sex marriage is legal. Same sex couples can do whatever they want. They can get married, they can adopt children, they can transfer ownership of properties to the other. They can basically do what heterosexual couples do. They can do it now. They are at liberty to do it, and it's legal in the eye of the state. It's outrageous because this man was married to a woman, and now he's telling you that you should run with your desires. That's crazy. That's crazy. And that is the thing with humans, and that is the thing with human beings, that we, should I say, we fail to. And this isn't even talking about same-sex people. This is for all human beings. We fail to recognize that we always want an excuse to do or not do something. If there is an excuse, it is easier to justify it with our conscience. If you say, I want to read today, in your mind you're telling yourself, I don't want to read, I hope something comes up. And then throughout the day you are occupied by the most insane things. It might not be anything concrete. Your attention is just needed in multiple places, and then it gets to the end of the day, you're lying in bed, and maybe you want to pick up a book. Maybe you want to pick up a book or something, and you see a video that says you don't do work in bed because your body associates bed with rest. So if you are carrying out any working activity in bed, it can conflict with your body's predetermined rhythm. And then you look at the book and say, this book is a work thing. I should not conflict it with my body's rhythm. And then you drop the book and you keep on giving excuses and excuses, and they all make perfect sense. And I'm telling you this from experience. They would always make perfect sense. This cuts across all parts of our lives, all parts. Specifically now on the subject of love. Whenever we want to do something that, number one, is fundamentally and morally wrong, we want to find a reason to do it. We already know the reasons not to do it. First of all, as a Christian, I know that sex before marriage is wrong, because the institution of marriage is where sex is permitted. Now, this is not to say that people who have done it are automatically bad or would go to hell. No, of course not. God forgives. As long as you don't say, oh, God has forgiven me, and then you go back to do it. That would be bad. Yeah? That would be really, really bad. You don't use the grace of God to commit more sin. Apostle Paul says, shall we sin that grace may abound? God forbid. So you don't say, oh, because I wasn't given a penalty or punished by the law, I wasn't sent to jail, sent to prison, now I have to commit more crime. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work. Sooner or later, the repercussions are going to pile up. Yeah. So that's one. I know that casual and random hookups are a sin. Staying with someone who is not my wife in the same house when there is an obvious sexual attraction, we're staying in the same house, we're living, is not, of course, not my siblings, not my family member, someone who I've told I love you, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, and we're living together without the institution of marriage. That is also wrong. But this is something that we do not know. When a program, now I did computer science, and although I did not really do anything relating to coding, for the little time that I played with code, when you're coding in HTML, it starts with an angle bracket, HTML, and an angle bracket. Now, once you start writing your code, when you write, say you've written 1,000 lines of code, if you don't put angle bracket forward slash HTML and another and the right angle bracket, your code will not run because you've not closed it. So it is kind of how cohabiting is, and every other thing, excuse me, that the media peddles about love, sex, marriage, dating, all those things. Cohabiting is like starting a HTML program and just coding, just writing and writing and writing lines of code without the, permit me to use the word for lack of a better word, closure. You've not closed. That closure is the marriage. The institution of marriage is not established. Fine, you love each other, you've met your parents, you've talked about how many kids you want to have, you've planned your kids' names, you've ticked all of the boxes, all of the boxes you need to tick as far as investigating certain things need to go. You guys are as compatible can get. You're so in love. You've replaced the butterflies in your stomach with Toothless, the dragon in How to Train Your Dragon. I mean, everything is clicking. The love is loving. It's giving. That's cool. That's pretty cool. But if you're not married, in the eyes of the law, you're still single. If you go to fill out a form, you write single. Now, it's so bad because you see people, if you check some celebrities' bio, you type their name on Google, you see partner. What does partner mean? Are you guys married or not? The answer is no. But now it's partner. Oh, I am my partner. What does that even mean? Your business partner? Your prayer partner? What are you saying? Oh no, my partner. Or your sexual partner, the person you're having sex with. And you guys are not married. It's not good. I mean, if somehow you found yourself entangled, and unentangle yourself, baby girl, baby boy. Let go, man. It's not worth it. In the long run, it's not gonna be worth it. You're gonna look back and you're gonna have regret. And some people might listen to this and say, well, I'm not having any regrets now. Because this episode, I tell you, you listening to it presently, as at the time and the year when it was released, you're listening to it presently, cool. In a few years' time, people are going to listen to this and gonna think of it as a hot take and say, what? I never knew this guy has so much hot takes. This is controversial. It's not controversial. It's pretty straightforward. Like I said at the beginning, it's a pretty straightforward thing. And the reason people find it controversial, or the reason people find anything controversial, is because they just don't want to look truth in the face. Truth is staring them dead in the face, and they're like, nope, I ain't seeing it. It's kind of like Kendrick dodging out cameras before he said "Say Drake" in the Super Bowl halftime performance. It's kind of like that. I'm for real. And so, when the media, you're watching a movie, a boy and a girl love themselves so much, and against all odds, their love thrives. First of all, there's so much PDA. Cool. That's cool. That's Hollywood. Cool. And then they start talking about moving in together. And when they move in together, even you as a Christian, you're oh my goodness, that's so cute. Oh, they look so cute together, and you're cute little puppy. And then you go on Twitter and write hot take, cohabitation is a sin. I mean, it's everywhere in every movie. Like, does that mean I should not watch movies? Oh, calm down. We're going to talk about movies, film, the movie industry in another episode in the near future. I promise you that. But get what I'm saying. Whatever the media is feeding you. I saw someone say something that if the media determines everything that you do, how you think, what you wear, how you perceive life, it means you don't have thoughts of your own. You don't have a opinions of your own. And that's true in some sense. But I'm here to tell you, just like I've said in episodes in time past, humans are more impressionable than we think. The person who said, it's because you don't have thoughts of your own, his thoughts are being influenced by someone or something. They just probably haven't spotted it. Sometimes I catch myself, I watch a movie, one of these movies talking about the hood, black people in the hood, and they just use a lot of swear words, like as if all the black people in the hood use swear words. I don't know. I'm not black American. I didn't grow up in the hood. I'm Nigerian. I was born in Nigeria, born and raised in Nigeria. Maybe where I lived is an equivalent of the hood. I don't know. I don't really. I can't say I relate. I don't relate. But the thing is, after I watch those movies, maybe I stub my toe or something happens. Out of nowhere, a swear word wants to fly out of my mouth. I'm like, Jesus, Nwa David, Mary, Jesus, son of David, have mercy on me. I'm like, what just happened? I have to catch myself. And this is me who could tell you it's not good to curse. You have to bridle your tongue and everything. Again, humans are more impressionable than we think. So what is the culmination of my whole thoughts? I've said all of that to say this. We're living in really scary times. I mean, there's the political side of it, the political side of the fight. I mean, the world is literally on the brink of an end. Jesus is not far away anymore. He's just around the corner. And now there are several ideologies being peddled by society. There's not. I didn't even talk about transgenderism. That, oh my goodness. Whew. That's another topic, man. But all I'm gonna say is this. Society doesn't define the narrative of love. God does. And God doesn't just define the narrative of love. He is love. So if you say you love, it means that you know God. But if you don't know God, you do not actually know love. And when I say God, I do not mean the person that everybody at award shows, everybody and their mamas at award shows, even the people whose lives do not conform to God's principles are thanking. I don't know who they're thanking. I'm not sure it's the God I serve or the God in heaven. I'm not sure who they're thanking. But here's this. If you truly love, it means you know God. And if you truly love, you know that what society peddles as love is selfish. Love doesn't just take and take and take. Love gives. Love even gives more than it takes sometimes. I'm not saying you should be a simp or you should be naive, or I'm just saying that love is a lot more sacrificial. Love is action. I said this in the previous episode. Please go listen. Alright? Because if we're gonna work hard to change the narrative that is being spewed, the filth that everybody seems to be rocking with, everybody seems to be rolling with, we need to change our own perception of love, because subtly we're being caught in a spider web of lies that the media portrays. And if we don't watch ourselves, if we don't check ourselves every now and then, we could slip up. And instead of going into dark spaces and flipping the switch and illuminating, we go into a dark room, our pupils dilate, and we're like, hey, this is not so bad. I can still see my way around. When there's so much that can be revealed in the light. That's the episode. Thank you guys for listening. Follow, subscribe, share, the whole thing, the whole nine. And I'll see you guys on the final episode of this month. God bless you. Have a lovely day. Peace.